So here is Euro GBP. I would try to take an entry for an upward move. I wonder, did any of you expect that I would open a position for an upward move here? Why for an upward move?
A link to all the information is on the YouTube profile.
Let me point out this. Damn, it's tough here. You see, marking all this now is going to be tricky. Everything is very close to each other. I'll mark it like this and like this, spread it out a bit so everything is visible, and I'll mark this main stopping point. So this is the kind of markup I end up with overall. So right away, again, this is a downward movement, not a strong one, but still, we are updating the lows. Yes, overall, it seems like the seller is gradually dominating. Secondly, what caught my attention was that the seller was pushed back, and at the moment the candle closed, it closed with a body in favor of the buyer. Yes, that is according to the cluster, and from below you have support for further upward movement. Next, we bounced off from the stopping point, which is normal because from here there was a strong downward move. This is quite realistic, it's possible. Next, we have this volume here that I marked the largest of all the volumes. Secondly, we have a candle where the volume was increasing on the buyer side, and according to the cluster we can also move higher. This volume could have been used to your advantage. Secondly, there was a comparison with the previous high of this trend. The seller didn't show themselves and we passed this high. So again, there's a chance that we'll move on to the next stop. We reached it. The seller at this stop did show themselves in principle, but I didn't see any strength in the cluster. I didn't see any strength in the volume. We have plus 2 points, yes. So this kind of situation is not something I like, and that's why another entry for an upward move opens up here. If it goes down, if the seller actually turns out to be strong and picks up from this stop, then I'll switch positions accordingly, already at the next stop somewhere around here. There you go. But overall, I think this particular volume really caught my eye. Wow, I've made a ton of markings here. Let me clear all this up. So my opinion is that the volume here is really good, and it's a distant volume, meaning it's accumulated over a long period of time. Let's see, if I do it like this, or even like this, so it's really a spot worth reaching. Plus, this spot basically matches, well, almost matches the high of this trend. All right, it's too early to say anything here. We have 1 minute here. For now, I think we just wait. There are 20 seconds here. All right, we're buying up, buying up. See? See, it didn't immediately drop down from this stop. There's still an attempt to move higher. An attempt. I see this attempt and I take the profit on this attempt. All right, let's add the amounts here. That's it. That's a profit. Let's go over the facts one more time. The trend is downward. The cluster is upward. Here are reds, here are greens. For the reds, the trend plus the red zone. A stop, but the pullback has already happened and we didn't see a strong seller. There's the 19th tick. We're closing at the area of interest for the buyer. In other words, the buyer held off this pressure. That's a plus for the green side. Our volume is increasing thanks to the buyer while it's dropping for the seller, but it should be the other way around. Plus, the largest volume is where it's worth moving higher. Why is it worth moving higher to that volume? Why is it worth updating this high and trying to reach that level? Because according to this trend, there was already a previous high and there was a solid consolidation. At that point, we should have bounced off and gone down, continuing the trend. But the buyer produced a strong candle like this. Yes, so specifically, we have a chance to go for a new high. That's a plus. So basically, that's the whole logic for entering here specifically for an upward move. I'm not saying that right now I'll have a 100% chance of updating the high because I'm on a small time frame, opening a trade for 2 minutes. What I need is precisely that very attempt. And the indicator suggests that there will be another attempt. I've seen hundreds of situations like this already. And my opinion here was still in favor of an upward move, that there would be another attempt by the buyers to do something. I'll go look for the next setup.
A link to all the information is on the YouTube profile.